Hi friends, welcome back to Dating My Budget. My name is Nita and I'm on a journey to becoming a financial warrior. I'm giving myself financial options with the help of zero-based budgeting, the cash envelope system, and savings challenges. And today we're about to get into my zero-based budget. I already pretty much did the budget, so I'm just going to go over it with you guys section by section. So that's why it's covered up. Before we jump in, I wanted to just mention some must-haves. Of course, a calculator and the friction erasable pen. When I first started my zero-based budgeting, I started with the Budget Mom's workbook, and I'm ever so grateful for the information she provides and how detailed and just organized she was, and that kind of like stuck with me, and I kind of followed her examples of budgeting. And so I signed up for her free resources library, and I visit it often just to see if she add new items. And I love the paper envelopes. And so this one was a part of a emergency fund bundle, When Life Gives You Lemons. And to me, this is like a rainy day fund. That's what I would use it as. This year, I used the emergency fund envelope to save $1,000. And I'm just using it as a cover up. Just showing you those two was a part of the bundle. Let's get into it. So the paycheck came in at $1,018.02. So that's the budget we have to work with for this paycheck. And then next into investments, I give myself $35 every week from my paycheck. And then the next week, it will come from my side hustle. And whatever change the paycheck is, I give it to investments. The kids' investments, they get $10 each per month. These stars is just to let you guys know that this amount stays in the bank. So our total for investments is $45.02. This year, I was like, just start. Paying yourself first is not like spending money for, things you want, at least for me. So I wanted to see how can I grow this money, learning about investing, stocks, ETFs, like all the things about the stock market. That $45.02 is 4% of the paycheck, and that leaves us with $973 to continue on to the next section. And let me zoom you guys in. My monthly expenses, the bills that stay in the bank, I don't write them out. And let me show you real quick. So when I do my monthly budget, I list all the individual accounts. Some is stuffed in cash, some stay in the bank. I'll say the first 7 minus Amazon, or 6. Well, actually, no. That's not true. Kids app, Frontier, Amazon, the gym when I was paying it, and life insurance are the ones that's included in the 125. And everything else is either a lined item or in cash. So either way, you'll see those separate. At the end of the month, I kind of go back and fill this out. So from month to month, I can reflect an overall of what I budgeted versus what I spent. So now getting back into the fixed expenses. After monthly expenses, we have the cushion. And this cushion is going to a separate account. Like I try to keep my bills account completely separate at a separate credit union from my spending account or cushion account, and that's at another credit union. When I first started my budgeting journey, I wanted to make sure there was clear, concise separation and detailing of where and why I keep this there versus, together. And in the bills account, only things coming out monthly is the bills, or look at that statement and verify fairly quickly, okay, everything came out, bam, bam, bam. Or if something looks odd, I can easily see it instead of going through where I went to the grocery store or whatever. This account is strictly bills. I have a debit card for it. I activated it, but I leave it at home, like in the envelope it came in. I have no reason to swipe my bill account debit card for a purchase at the store. That has worked for me for the past 4 years. And so moving on, kids' whole life gets 12. It gets a total of 25 per month. Charity gets 10, total of 20 per month. I donate to St. Jude. Let me say this before I forget. Pretty much what I do is, since I'm paid bi-weekly, on average 2 paychecks per month, I split my total amounts for sinking funds, bills, whatever. I just split them in half. And so pretty much my numbers kind of stay the same because we need it to be a certain amount to meet the goal, the monthly goal at the end of every month. For me, that's been helpful, especially once I got a month ahead. I don't have to allocate from paycheck one and cover certain bills. And like for me, this is simpler. This is so basic. I do understand, like if you're not a month ahead, that may not be an option. It's like, do what you have to do and then maybe simplify your budget even more. You find what works for you. And that's one thing, having a budget, being intentional and active. You find ways to cut, find extra money, and kind of be ahead of the curve. Life going life. So we got to roll with the punches and throw a couple punches ourselves. So next is Amazon. I gave it the whole $12 last paycheck. Instead of, normally I do 6 and 6. Month ahead, I'm in the process of trying to get a month ahead in the household bills that I do not cover. I'm a month ahead in my bills. So now I'm working to get a month ahead on the overall household bills. So we're trying to get that fully funded by the end of December. It's getting 45. So this will be a number that fluctuate. Vehicle Haven, that's my car insurance. I'm with Geico, 3 cars, and that's $80. So $160 monthly. Meat Sweats, we do a meat haul every 3 months. I need $300, so I'm doing 55, total 110 monthly to make sure I have enough for the meat haul and a buffer, as well as when it's time for me to reorder my salsa, I have enough in this category. And then another thing that stays in the bank is my daughter's tutor, $80, and our total for the bills of this paycheck is $457, and this $457 is 45% of the paycheck. And what's remaining is $516 to roll to the following categories or to the remaining categories. And in my saves and debt area, I'm working on my 10K challenge. It stays in the bank. I want to collect as much interest as possible. This was a challenge that I started that I knew I wasn't going to complete this year, but nothing prevented me from starting. So I'm giving it $190, and that $190 of this paycheck is 19%. Leaving us with $326 to continue to zero out this budget. Moving back up to the variable expenses, we have groceries, which is $60, car juice $50, which is gas, dining out $25, home goods $15. Now these are the categories I keep in my everyday cash wallet. So the groceries for me is low because I'm not responsible for the overall grocery bill. I take care of the meat sweats, the meat haul. So Ragnar covers the actual every 2 weeks grocery haul. This for me is just picking up fresh fruits, vegetables, seasoning, whatever may be on sale that we're either low on. I have a budget where I can go and pick up, those things. And then car juice, I work from home, so I can keep this relatively low for my SUV and my car. What's so funny is my car, I haven't filled it up in 2 months. What I have been spending has been going to the SUV. But last month, I only spent $11. I haven't been driving. Ragnar's been driving more, so he's been filling up. I haven't had to go to the gas station. And when I put the $11, I think it was like $11.78. I did just because I use Upside and I try to earn as much cash back at the pump. We can't avoid gas if you have a car, especially if it's not electric. So it's like, what better way to put something back in my pocket? I have to get the gas regardless. And last year, I was kind of focused on 3 ways of reducing this or getting cash back. So the first is, actually it was 4. So the first is the gas station I use, they have a rewards program. So, that builds up. You can get free items or, like 10, 20 cents off of a fill up. Second was Upside. The third was I was using a credit card, my Discover card, to earn more cash back. But so with Discover, I believe it's the first quarter of the year, they give you a bonus for your gas purchase. So I would use that. And then the fourth would be my favorite grocery store, Publix. They have, where if you spend $50 in groceries, you get a gas card, a $50 gas card for the cost of $40, you save 10 basically. So $50 gift card for $40, I'm saving immediately. And I basically purchased gas at the grocery store and I just had to go fill up. I use all that to keep this category low. I still have that mindset and those practices, except I'm not using my credit card. I'm trying to get out of the mindset of swiping a credit card for points and all that, because that's where I know for a fact that I misuse my spending. I overspent on my credit cards. Like, oh, I'm gonna get the points, and not keeping track and just swiping. Next thing you know, what you was in control and only spending $75 every couple weeks. Next thing you know, it's $1,000. And it's like, yeah. So for me, I just took it off the table and to get out of that mindset. And eventually I'll go back to using my credit card, especially Discover for that like 3 months. But just want to get it out of my system. But the total for my cash wallet is $150. And I didn't do the percentage on this side. So we'll do that real quick. So 150 divided by the paycheck, 1018.02. Move the decimal back 2 places. So that is 15%. That leaves us with 176 for my sinking funds. All right, so we know that 176 is all we have to allocate to these categories. Wellness, I gave it 41. My personal binder, I listed, but it was like if I have extra, I'll give it my personal binder or something. But that was not the case. Back to school is getting 60. Birthdays, gifts, celebrations, 25. Christmas, 50. And how I come up with my wellness is like once I allocate the minimums here, whatever's left, wellness receives. And so I did add this up and it does equal the 176, leaving me with a remainder of 0. And because I do zero-based budget, I'm looking for that 0 at the end. I have this line here, my total budget, the amount of paycheck, total amount spent, meaning total amount allocated, and 0 is the ending number. If you're not a zero-based budget and you like to have something remaining, your number will be different here. But let's say in this section, you allocated, you have a category that's like next month buffer. So you can still zero out your budget, but as far as what the amount being rolled to the next month, that's what you would put here. So just giving you guys an idea and my mindset when I was creating this spending plan. And I need to do my percentage. So 176, divided by the paycheck amount. That is 17%. And I added percentages because I want to be able to quickly see from month to month. For one, when did I increase? My goal is to get this to 10%. And this is on top of what already comes out of my paycheck and goes to my 401k. So this, my investment is going to my Robinhood brokerage. And this is where I'm day trading, buying stocks. Just trying to, be that girl. And then the same thing with the kids. They have Fidelity and they can trade, do the same things, which I thought was so bomb. Because what I learn, they learn. And yes, glad to have that tool and I can share that with the kids. So that's the spending plan. Over here is where I cash plan. And this is my bookmark plus my due dates menu, where it basically reminds me of the due dates of my monthly expenses and my credit card due dates. So I kind of use this when I do my monthly budget to make sure I go down and check, what supposed to came out and the amount. So yeah, here in the cash plan, then section. I wrote out everything, put the amounts, gave it the denominations, breaking out my teller slip so I can get that completed because I'll be going to the bank immediately after this video. Down here, tallied up everything, added up. We got $528 in cash. So over here, I write $528 in cash, and my 10K challenge is prop. So I will be bringing out prop bills. Let me put a star here. But the cash is going to the bank into that account. I'm doing this 10K challenge with Ally. So the total amount that'll be cash stuffed is $718, $528 in cash, $190 in prop. And I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. So we need about 8 ones, 6 fives, so that's 30, 7 tens, 70, 11 20s, that's 220, and 4 50s, and that's 200. For more clarity and make sure when I go to the teller, I know I did everything I needed to do to not mess up, and we have 528. And yes, so this is pretty much my process when I'm doing my budget. Whether I record it or not, it's the same thing. Using the Budget Moms workbook, I highly recommend that to anyone, no matter what budget you're doing. It's undated, so if you fall off, you can start back again, pick up wherever you left off. So being undated is perfect. She has the calendar challenge, not challenges, but trackers, so you can track your sinking funds. It's like a nice all-in-one budget planner. So, but I was motivated to create my own because I love the disc, and she does have the option for you to print, and you can add it to a disc planner. But I did want to switch it up because, for one, I wanted to add the percentages, and I wanted to highlight my investments. Just realized I'm pointing and y'all can't see. Highlight my investments, and every quarter I change the color. So just showing you guys. Oh, and there's a pink in here somewhere. There we go. So I wanted to do that in my planner. That was just some ideas I had, and, you know, kind of make it my own and use up some things that I have from Happy Planner. I got some goal sheets. This is my 2025 goals, which I'll be going over at the end of the year. It's like a goals extension kit that I have in here that I really haven't used. I do have some things for 2026 that I'm gonna use this for, so it's not wasted. And I keep like my budget categories. Anything budget related is in here. I have my annual budget that I did at the beginning of the year. This right here, I created, maybe like 2-3 years ago, where a diamond in the rough, like, what do I want that to look like? How does that shine? So for these categories will always be stuffed or around. My debt bully, I keep it in cash, but I don't have an envelope for it in my binder. So you guys haven't seen that in a minute, but I do have it tucked away. And it's like for an all-purpose, any-purpose minor emergency, $250. And then, so basically that's 10% of the rainy day fund. My rainy day, the goal was $2,500. We did meet that. We used it pretty much this year. Got a new refrigerator. And that pretty much blew it out, plus the interest that it earned. Because I fully funded this, I think that was last year or the year before. And so now I'm rebuilding, and that 1,000 that we saved here went to this. So we have 1,000 in rainy day. And my health fund, I set a starting goal of 3,000, but the end goal is 6,000 to match my current deductible for my health insurance. And it does include dental and vision. My car defense is my car emergency fund. So the goal is $5,500. cover like major repairs, down payment, insurance deductible, case of accident. That's kind of how I come up with 55. So the down payment, I end up saving $8,000 to go towards a new car. So got the new car, that's out of the way. So basically, kind of in the rebuilding process. Home defense is the home emergency. Now, this is a bonus for me to have because Ragnar covers like home emergency, home repairs the majority of the time. But I wanted to set a goal and have it in my budget as well. And annually is $1,750. So every year, if I can reach this amount, I'll be doing good, and it'll be a consistent, ongoing to build or replenish home emergencies. And my survivor fund is a loss of income. I did a 100 envelope challenge to save that. My exchange fund goal is $2,800, and I started this last year. I think I saved $2,200 towards it. Like if you got to switch out something and it, alters your lifestyle, everything costs. So I wanted something for that. And then my primary savings, I want this to be $1,000. And I'm deciding if that's going to be unlimited or it's going to be the amount of my CD ladder. Started my CD ladder last year. I paused it to focus on my 10,000. When I look at this, I thought of defensively, how can I protect this? And you see the line here is solid and then it's like dashed. So at all times, I want to protect this. Once I get that 10,000, I want to protect it. So I have these in place. Something other 250 comes up, I can use that bully. Over 250, I can use rainy day. And in my mind, it's easier to replace 250 than, let's say if I didn't have any of these extras and I just have a large amount here, let's say 10,000. Life keeps happening. Next thing you know, I keep tapping into it. And then I spent 4,000 of the 10,000. For me, having things broken down and specific, if I have to replenish to 2,500, I can piece it out and it's a smaller number. It's smaller than 4,000. So hopefully I'm making sense in a way, but it's like, I have separate places to pull money from. Like when the budget moms say your budget have your back, this is me making sure my budget has my back. That's what this is all about. And I think I'm going to make this available. I'm going to spruce it up a little bit and make it to where you guys can kind of fill in and, let that be a freebie. And I'm going to try to get that done before the end of the year. And I haven't even added up these amounts to know what is this ending amount. I just got an idea. Okay. I'm getting too ahead of myself. So in the raw, this is what budgeting has done for me. Opened my eyes on so many levels, made me face, the things that caused me to overspend or kind of keep me in that cycle. Because I've been paid off like consumer debt probably 4 or 5 times over my lifetime. But this has been the longest stretch of staying debt free, even though I'm not debt free anymore because we got the new car. And if you notice, it's not in my bills. That's something Ragnar pays. But I'm not going to consider myself debt free still. Just looking at this, and the more I stay in it, I just came up with an idea. I'm going to turn this into a savings binder. Maybe not now, but soon. Just these goals and the fact that I haven't added it all up to know what these numbers equal, I feel like I can turn this into a challenge, and however long it takes, I don't care how long it takes. It's a work in progress. But anyway, I was just showing you guys what I have in this and why I love the disc, because you can add what you want. And this I got from Notice for Housing, and this is the Letra size, and you can just the normal 8.5 by 11 printables or sheets. That's what fits in here. So I don't have to cut anything down. Classic, I do, which next year my budget will be in a classic binder. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will chat with you in the next one. Bye, you guys.